Howdy, YouTube. We are here with Hero Hey. Apparently, Hassan goes on a bizarre rant about Asmongold. You know what? I am loving this beef. It is one-sided. Asmongold doesn't care. Let's figure out what stupid thing Hassan said this time.
Yesterday, we were talking about the Hassan stuff going
Possibilities
on.
are endless.
Essentially saying that they're not going to have any plans to ever invite him back, as well as his ban on Twitch, which we've got another update on because
Is it
24
permanent
hours changed later, and we can see that he has been on ban. Now, that said, Hassan yesterday made a video talking about his Twitch ban, and there's a very funny part where he's very upset.
Wow.
And I think you guys might find this amusing.
Wow, that
so
didn't last
let's
long.
take a look.
Asmongold, for those of you who don't know, is a right-wing political commentator. He does have some centrist opinions every now and then.
He's not right-wing at all. He didn't even vote in this last election. He doesn't care.
I believe he himself actually is a big advocate for healthcare, likes Bernie Sanders, but spends most of his time simply sitting around and reacting to Donald Trump. He is now, officially, by my estimations, a...
That's because Donald Trump is super entertaining. He says the craziest stuff. It's great content for him. That's why he's watching it.
a larger right-wing political commentator than even the likes of Ben Shapiro. Very successful in this field. His videos reacting to Donald
He's not
Trump
a political
get
commentator
millions of
either.
views, more so than the Daily Wire could ever dream of.
Okay, so according to what Hassan
He just covers content, and Trump is insane content.
just said, he's like, based off what he's saying, he's making it sound like he's calling Asmongold right wing simply because Asmongold watches Trump a lot and he gets a lot.
He didn't watch Biden because Sleepy Joe couldn't do the job, never did any hardly ever did any press conferences, and he never did anything interesting or funny. That's why he didn't watch. Also, he never did his job, so that's why he didn't watch. He did watch Kamala Harris because she's unhinged, and he watches Trump because he's unhinged.
A lot of views. What the frick? The amount of things I've seen people say, like, makes you right wing is just nuts. A few years ago, even, there was a major left wing news publication that was trying to make the argument that if you work out, you're reinforcing white supremacy and you're basically some far right extremist. Simply the act of going to the gym and working out. And then more currently, for example, we see all these modern audience types.
Is it because Jim is a white guy's name? Maybe it is racist.
Saying that if you're a gamer and you criticize AAA corporations, that you're also a far-right extremist. Those dang chuds, how dare they criticize Ubislop? And now apparently if you react to Trump and you get a lot of views, you're also right-wing. And you know, if this was like a one-off occasion, I would just be like, okay, to be fair, these people are probably not phrasing things well. Like, there's no way they actually mean all that, right? But no, it's such a recurring theme over the years that this is
Well, that's because Hassan is professional at not knowing what he's talking about. He just makes assumption and then assumes he's right because he's so smart.
just how they are, I guess.
Asmongold also is the largest political content creator on Twitch in
Not a political
he's the largest political streamer now. He's double my size. He's always been double my size, but he's now double my size when it comes to political commentary as well.
I love how Hassan says that Asmon is double his size, and then his editor presumably puts this image there and like doesn't even back up what Hassan is saying. Obviously, that's not a big deal. I just thought it was kind of funny. And it's also funny how personal Hassan seems to be taking this thing with Asmongold being bigger than me.
So let's see what the largest free speech defender had to say. He actually voluntarily brings this up in a YouTube video called "What the F is Twitch Doing?" The YouTube video is from 2 days ago with 1 million views. The first 13 minutes of it is just reacting to the latest Ethan Klein video, who is falsely smearing me as someone who doesn't care about Israeli civilians or whatever, which is...
He doesn't. He called Jews inbred.
Obviously incorrect, but we'll get to that perhaps down the line. Package that up with the libs of TikTok video to call for my banning.
So this is some more weird phrasing from Hassan. He specifically says that Asmon is using some libs of TikTok video, right? However, you'll be able to see in a minute when Hassan plays that part of Asmon's video that that's not actually what happens. The video being referred to is a clip from Hassan's own stream, presumably the one that got him banned. And
Of course
that
not.
Asmon will be taking a look at is not from libs of TikTok. It's from a different account called Yeet. So yeah, it's just really weird to suddenly bring libs of TikTok up into this when, again, that's not what Asmon was even looking at. Funny enough, that's not the only thing that Hassan gets wrong in this video either. We'll get to that part in just a moment. Here we go.
Hey, Dan Clancy. Time to wish Hassan another happy birthday song. You hack. Anyone else will get permaban on Twitch for this. This is beyond the pale. This is enticing your audience to kill a sitting senator. Don't people go to jail for this? This is not me enticing my audience to kill a sitting U.S. senator. That is ridiculous. Everybody knows that,
Yes,
that is
it
ridiculous.
was.
The people that are complaining about this know that that is ridiculous. But I'm glad that I was able to show you the context, the full context of what I was talking about. If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would Rick Scott. Okay? You wouldn't make Rick Scott
Weird. That's what it
former
sounded
governor of
like.
Florida, Rick Scott. You wouldn't make him a prominent part of the Republican Party.
That is crazy. That is nuts. And I've said before, there's a statute of limitations, but apparently this was yesterday. Yeah, this happened yesterday even. Oh my God. How's that not against the TOS? It is. And it is an open call to violence. And I would challenge anybody who thinks that it's not an open call to violence to say that exact thing about Donald Trump and then tell me if Secret Service shows up at your house or not. Really. It's very obviously a call to violence. And Twitch doesn't do anything? Well, I don't know if they've really seen it or anybody's reported it or anything like that.
I think Asmongold is covering this because he wants Twitch to see it. He's done this a couple times in the past couple of weeks, I understand. We are ideologically...
Well, yeah, they would have
on Twitch.
immediately banned
Asmongold
him
and
for
I
saying it. They
disagree vehemently on a
take their
lot of
sweet time with
issues,
Hassan
all
for
the way
some
from
reason.
the history
Weird.
of Nazi Germany down to the fact that immigrants are not actually contributing to the American crime rates in the way that the Republican administration presents it. They're not
Yeah, they
destroying
are.
our culture in the way that Asmongold approaches the subject matter. There's plenty
Yeah,
of
they
disagreements
are.
there. And I think that he's doing this deliberately, I will say, in an effort to, shit
Yeah,
stir a little bit. And
he
try to get him
is.
banned, which worked.
Because if you don't shine a light on it, Twitch won't do anything about it.
The clip's too short, maybe it's out of context? I hope so. I definitely do. Hopefully it's out of context. How you gonna?
Now, once he said this, does Asmongold go back and seek out the context? No, he doesn't.
Yeah, so it turns out that Hassan is wrong, that Asmongold did actually go and look the full context, which takes us over to that Yeet account once again, as they do post the clip of that happening. Before we play that brief clip, let's also take note that earlier in the video, Hassan claimed that Asmongold was calling for his ban.
Coming with
But it doesn't
receipts.
seem like, based off what we've seen so far, that's really what happened. It's more so people were like, isn't this breaking TOS? And Asmon explained why he thinks it is. But at the same time, it's not like he was literally calling for Hassan to get banned either, at least from what I've seen. Okay, so now back to this tweet. Yeet saying, clip of Asmongold reacting to full quote-unquote context of Hassan's Rick Scott take.
The reason why I'm saying if you cared about Medicare or Medicaid fraud, you would Rick Scott is because, and not make him a prominent part of the Republican Party, is because he to this day is still
He repeats it.
also known
Yeah.
as committing the
He doubled down. Weird.
largest Medicare fraud in U.S. history.
The Lord of the Rings Woobles collab is finally here. You can learn to crochet the Lord of the Rings characters with this new box set.
That's actually an interesting idea. If you like crochet, that sounds really
Oh,
cute.
God. What are we doing? What is this, bro? Are you kidding me?
So the context makes it worse.
Holy shit.
I don't even know what to say. Wow. Can you believe how much you used to vouch for this guy? I don't vouch for anyone. I look at what's true and what's not true. There's been a lot of criticism of Hassan that's inaccurate and unfair. This isn't one of those cases. I will be fair.
Yeah, I
in
can
every
imagine.
single
I can
situation.
imagine a lot of people attack him for stuff he didn't actually say or do just because they want to be mad at him. The same way they attack Asmongold, or the same way they attack Biden or Trump for stuff they didn't say or do. They just make stuff up because they don't like them.
Completely. And it doesn't matter who it is or what that person treats me as. I can't defend this. I'll tell you that. Not even for a second. This is indefensible? It is. It's completely indefensible. Absolutely.
Now, ultimately, Hassan ends his video titled, I Got Canceled, with this.
That is my anger. That is my frustration. And every single person, not Asmongold, but every single Republican operative online, from Tim Pool to Libs of TikTok to many others, know that that is the reality. But they also want you to be distracted. They don't want you to realize that this is what the Republicans are doing. So I urge all liberals, progressives, or even people who are worried about their grandparents or their parents losing their health care, people who might be worried about their children no longer being able to receive Medicaid, to focus on who the vectors of harm truly are, what they're actually doing, instead of constantly engaging in petty squabbles. I shouldn't have used the term kill. I should have used
No,
the term
you should
punishment,
not
just
have.
punishment in general. But once again, I've let you down. I've used hyperbolic language, and that hyperbolic language has brought trouble my way. As one of the largest progressive, leftist, political content creators online, in what feels like is a sea of reactionary sentiment, I am promising you that I will try to use more deliberate and more careful language going forward.
Dealing with healthcare in the U.S. can certainly be an awful,
He
terrifying,
probably
terrible
won't.
experience. I've even been seeing what these companies are trying to do to my own mom the last few years, and yeah, I'm not going to defend any of those corpos. At the same time, that doesn't mean that Hassan can't be criticized, and people can also point out the massive double standards that go on over at Twitch. And Hassan acting all weird towards Asmon's viewers and like his view count and all that comes off so petty. But let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comments. As always, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the coverage, please consider liking and subscribing, and have a great rest of your week. I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, let me know what you think about that. I feel like he should have been banned longer than less than 2 days. That's a little. You can't advocate for, and even doubling down on something like that is ridiculous. See, the fact that they don't punish him for the stuff he does is why he thinks he can get away with stuff like that, and then keeps pushing it further and further and further. And he doesn't learn a lesson when he gets punished. He just thinks, okay, well, I'm not going to do that again. And then he gets carried away again because he doesn't act on thought. He acts on emotion. Because let's face it, his thoughts are not correct. He thinks he knows what he's talking about because he was well educated, but he doesn't. He doesn't actually know what he's talking about. Well, leave a comment down below whether you think it was justified that he was only banned for like 2 days, or if you think he deserved much, much longer for advocating for killing somebody in the government, and that's not acceptable behavior. Catch you later. Stay safe, stay hydrated in these crazy, crazy times. Take care of yourself, and take care of somebody else. Mwah.